Welcome everyone to another Schoolscape webinar. The aim of these webinars is to help take your school online. And in studio with me today is Jean from Teacha. So Jean, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so amazing to be here. I'm so excited to chat to some people for a change. It's like nice to feels like I'm out there. It's cool.
Brilliant. John, I think literally from a school advisor and Schoolscape point of view, you are definitely one of our favorite suppliers that we connect with. And we know you have an amazing offering for schools. So we know what Teacha is doing out there is really helping a lot of teachers and a lot of schools. And I know we've got a lot of schools online today that want to find out about Teacha. But before we get there, I thought I'd just ask some general questions. What are the challenges faced by the teachers at the moment in teaching from home, obviously?
Sure, I think everything about this is actually challenging. I don't think there's just one small thing that's actually a challenge. I think the main thing that teachers are facing, though, is definitely that it's very difficult to reach all of the students in your class and at different schools. I mean, not everyone has access to technology. Not everyone can use an online platform like this to chat to their kids and so on. So I think it's just what is out there and how can you make use of it to actually reach all of your kids. So yeah, that's the main thing, I think. And then also like working together as a staff, because now all of a sudden you're not in the staff room anymore with your colleagues. You're not running around in the school all frantic and like, oh, what must I do now? What must I do now? And, oh, I forgot something. Can you please help me out? It's like you're by yourself. And it's always a meeting to actually plan something. It's not just that walking past each other and thinking about something. It's a lot of extra admin. It's so much extra admin. And I think that's the time. I mean, I know teachers love saying, I don't have the time for new things. And I mean, I was one of them. So I also said that. But now really, I don't have time because it's everything is just, there's so much extra effort that goes into planning all of this. And I mean, even the extra marking, giving constant feedback all the time, making sure that everyone has something, finding new resources because you forgot everything, or not forgot everything at school, you just left everything at school because you had to. So it's a lot. And yeah, it was quite a shock to my system when we had to close and all of a sudden just switch over to online learning.
Brilliant. Thank you, John. We are going to chat resources now. But before we get there, just to all of our live viewers, on your right, you'll see a chat function. Thanks for everyone who said hello. Hello back. There's also questions. There's also a questions tab. So if you have any questions, the last 10 minutes, we're going to focus on questions. So you can just, in the questions tab, pop those. But John, back to you. I think before we chat resources, as an experienced teacher, as someone who knows the online world, do you have just a couple of quick or even one tip for teachers that are teaching from home? Just something that they might not have thought of or could be helpful for them?
I think what really was the main thing for me actually was getting a routine ready for the kids. And I think that's been said a lot now. Like everyone says, oh, yeah, I'll get a routine ready for the kids and so on. But I think not just the routine for the kids, but for yourself. And to not just give everything all the time of yourself, because it gets overwhelming. You need to take a break. You need to take care of yourself. You need to actually be kind to yourself. That's my main tip, actually, is be kind to yourself, because things are going to go wrong. Things aren't going to be the same way as in your class. It's not the same as teaching. Nothing of this is how we are used to teaching. Yeah, sure, we've posted stuff online and so on, but it's not the same, and it's scary. So it's not a nice feeling, but it's fine, and just run with it. And I think the coolest thing that I've seen from this entire remote learning experience and people that had to get online and change the way that they teach, I've done a lot of training with teachers, and I've internally at the school where I taught before. So and it takes a long time for teachers to actually make changes in their classrooms. It's not just, oh, I learned a new thing today and tomorrow I'm going to implement it. But now everyone is just forced to all of a sudden make a big change in the way that they teach. And I mean, even small changes that we usually make in our classes, from the design of a worksheet or the tool that we use in front of the class or anything like that, it's stuff that takes time for us to implement. And now it's just like, bam, everything is different. So, I mean, hats off to the teachers that's actually making this work. It's really cool to see how everyone has pulled together to do this.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Yeah, I think everyone needs to realize this is a new world and to be gracious, because as the parents and as the pupils, the teachers, it's new for everyone. So we can't expect to get it perfectly right from day one. John, we're going to go into talking resources, but before we get to Teacha, any great resources, other stuff that you would recommend that could be helpful for a teacher?
I think the one that I would really recommend, or that I've got a list, but I'll just say a few of them. Then the stuff that I always actually used in my teaching also has become so valuable now. And I think one of them is definitely Flipgrid, to get video feedback from the kids and to be able to get video feedback if you can't always be on Hangouts or on Zoom or something like that. I think Edpuzzle is also cool because it takes a lot of your planning away or from you, so you don't have to actually create all of the videos that you're going to use on Edpuzzle. And I think I'm not sure, a lot of platforms have opened up free access at the moment so that you can use it for free. So I think there's a lot out there, and people can really just try it out now and see if they're actually going to use it in their classes when all of this is over. So it's a cool thing. But with Edpuzzle also, I mean, just setting questions and embedding it into YouTube to check understanding throughout the video without you having to create the video in the first place it's already like a time saver. I love that. And then just quiz stuff and a lot of interactive things. But I've got a blog post about that. I'll share it later.
Okay, cool. I think that would be great. Just to repeat those names. So, there we go. Ali's on Flipgrid and Edpuzzle. For those that missed the names, they are in the chat.
Cool.
Functionality.
Thanks.
John, let's move on to Teacha. So how does Teacha resources, what you do, how does that support home learning?
So I think from Teacha's side, Teacha's always been, or the idea of Teacha is getting teachers to help each other. So it's really focused on the community, you know. So, and this has been great because I just put a small notification in on Teacha to ask vendors are the teachers that upload the resources to Teacha. If you want to, please set some of your stuff on free so that it can be downloaded. And so many people came back to us and actually marked their products for free. So they're not making any money from this anymore. And then they are sharing it for free, which is amazing. And some of the stuff is really cool. I mean, it takes so much time to create these kind of things, even setting a comprehension or having a set of work for a week. It's intensive work. So that's the one thing, is the resources of Teacha, of course. So there's 13,000 resources on Teacha. That's all uploaded by Teacha.
Okay. So, sorry, explain that. 13,000 resources, just in layman's terms, what are those resources?
Okay, so that's literally everything that teachers have created to use in their own classroom. So it's worksheets, assessments, summaries, there's PowerPoints, there's quizzes. I mean, anything that you can think of, really. It's and it's across all of the subjects also. So it's a bit skewed towards the primary school. So there's a lot of primary school resources on there, a lot of Afrikaans resources, which is very hard to find, and a lot of freebies also. So I mean, I think there's almost 1,000 of those resources are actually free to use.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So to explain this in layman's term, I am looking for something in I don't know, maths. I'm a grade 4 teacher and I need a new assignment. There's something in the CAPS curriculum I want content for. What do I do? How do I go find that kind of content or stuff on Teacher?
So you just go on to teachingresources.co.za and then you use the search function to actually search that, and it'll hopefully come up. If not, you can also go through the categories on the side, so it's categorized by grade. Unfortunately, not in terms of language yet, but we'll get there. And so intermediate phase or foundation phase and so on. But to make it easier also, we have our own resource collection. So we showcase resources on teacher.co.za. So for example, today, Ali, that just posted that now, posted something about foundation phase resources or foundation phase workbooks that's for the second term. So you don't have to really go and do the find or go and search through the 13,000 stuff to find it. You can just go and look in some of our collections and then add it to your cart if it's a paid thing, and just do like a normal online shopping experience from then on.
Okay, so I find an assignment that's perfect for me. I find a PowerPoint or a presentation for my class. I add them into my checkout. I check out, and then those resources I can just use freely with my class.
So yes, it depends on the vendor that uploaded it, but usually the terms of use are that it's one resource per teacher. So if you as a teacher bought it, or if the school bought it for you as a teacher, that's for the classes that you teach. So that usually means you can make copies for your entire class, or you can use it. And now at the moment, it's a bit difficult because now it's all electronic, but so it's just be careful not to now share it online where you are sharing it and it's copyrighted material. So it's the same as what's happening with a lot of publishers whose books are being shared online. So just be careful of that. But if you can use it with your class basically, or the classes that you are teaching, but you can't share it with other teachers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I mean, that's fine.
Give me a ballpark figure. I find something I like. Is it going to cost me R1 billion or R5?
So most items are actually under 30 Rand.
Oh, wow.
Per item. So it depends on the amount of work that was put into the resource. And the thing is that the people selling the resources, the teachers selling the resources, set their own prices for this. So say a teacher sets out an entire term's work, it's not going to be 30 Rand. It's going to be like 100 Rand maybe. But that's still 10 hours, 20 hours of work that you're paying 100 Rand for. So, and you don't have to pay for it out of your pocket. If your school wants to pay for stuff, we can actually send, or you can add it to your cart and you can send us an email through the support, and then we can send an invoice to the school if you want the school to pay for it, if you're allowed to do that. I know some schools have a budget for that, so yeah.
Some bursars might get a bit of a fright when they see 50 Rand geography grade 4. What is this? Okay, so that's fantastic. And John, roughly, like, there's a lot of resources. I'm guessing a large portion of those resources are actually super relevant now because it is digital content, in the sense of it's stuff that a teacher now teaching from home can go on, find resources, and immediately use it in their home teaching. Would that be a correct statement?
Yes, definitely. I mean, everything is online already, so it's easy to adjust it or to change it for your own purpose. A lot of the documents are editable, so you can change it how you want to. So yeah, definitely.
That's brilliant. Okay, so I have to ask this question. I upload my resource. I'm a teacher, which I'm not, but say I was. How much money could I make? And just so you know, you are on mute at the moment. Sorry, Jean, you've muted yourself, so you just need to unmute. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. If you scroll down, there's a little red button. Ladies and gentlemen, our apologies for the technical. Let's see if we can do something here. We are stumped. John, give me 1 second. I'm going to try unmute your mic. No, I can't. Ladies and gentlemen, we have never had this before. This is a new experience for us. While we are working out, Jean, wow, that is. Oh, we have lost Jean. So Jean, if you can hear us, I'm sure he will hop back on. There he comes back. Well, and we're back. Sorry.
Yes, okay, cool.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure. Okay, so Jean, $1 million question. How much money could a teacher make? What is realistic? And I'm guessing any teacher can use it, upload and download stuff.
Yes. Okay, so the main thing about the uploads are that you do kind of need permission from your school. So say your school doesn't allow you to use the content that you are using in your class for your own benefit, then you can't. But you can always create other stuff on the side to sell. But that's not the point. So you can, it depends really on how much effort you put into your own marketing. And if you have like a social following, if you have like an Instagram page or a Facebook page and you push your stuff out there, and the teachers who are really putting in a lot of effort are making about or more than 5,000 Rand a month actually extra on
5,000 Rand a month.
Yes, I know. I never made that when I sold my resources, but still there's some superstars out there. The average, like I averaged out 350 Rand. So, but it's still, I didn't make any effort. I didn't put new stuff in all the time. I didn't say, hey, come and buy my stuff. And most of the stuff was free anyway. So it's, it's cool. People are, and then when you can see that when people start making some extra cash and they also start taking it seriously more so and creating more things and so on. So it's very nice. And it helps everyone really, and yourself. I mean, who doesn't want an extra 5,000 Rand on top of your teacher salary?
Yeah, we just got a comment and now someone said, I've used their resources in Afrikaans for social science, very affordable and easy payment and easy to download and use. It works great. So that is pretty, from someone who's actually watching. So it definitely does work. So if I was a teacher and I wanted to upload content, do I just load a profile, load my banking details? How would I do that from that side?
Yes, so everything is, you just sign up on teachingresources.co.za to become a vendor. It will automatically allow you to do that. And then you can start uploading immediately. So there's no waiting period and so on. We do some quality checks, spot checks here and there. And if people complain about a product or if there's copyrighted material in it, we take it down immediately. So there's like a zero tolerance thing with that. We don't allow any of that. And then you can put your details in there and then payouts take place every 2 months and then you get your share of your sales. So there's a commission fee, of course. On the sales, it's 35%, but that makes sure that we can actually run the service and promote your products for you and make sure and deal with the customer care stuff and so on. So there's a lot of queries like, how do I buy on Teacha? And please take me through the steps. And so there's a lot of effort behind the scenes that we take away from the seller.
Okay, brilliant. John, I think what you've done is incredible, that a teacher can now go, and I think especially to find South African CAPS aligned stuff makes a big difference. One of the questions that's actually came through, Cambridge, do you have Cambridge kind of private education, other stuff, or is it just CAPS stuff, or is it everything?
So it is everything, but it will be linked. So most of the stuff is from government schools, it's, I don't think it's, but it's easily adaptable. So no, I wouldn't say that there's a section for Cambridge necessarily, but I don't know how you can adapt the resources for your own use.
Okay, fantastic. Just a question from left field. I saw you recently were acquired or partnered in with Snaplify. Could you share a bit? That sounds like really exciting news. What happened and how would it benefit the teachers that use your resources?
Okay, so I think I'm super, super proud of Snaplify at the moment, actually. I just need to say that because I'm sure you know that they launched the free access platform where teachers and students and parents and anyone actually can go onto Snaplify and download or use the free textbooks that's available. So this is in partnership with all of the well, not all of those publishers, but many publishers in South Africa. So well done to everyone for doing that. And I think that's just one of the ways that I'm so proud of being part of Snaplify at the moment, because we both have the same goal. We think, how can we support teachers and what can we do to make teachers' lives easier? So I think for the future, it's definitely just making sure that we work together to inspire and help teachers, because I don't know, when I see happy teachers, then I'm happy, so it's cool.
Okay, so just to reiterate that, at the moment, someone can go into Teacha, can grab your resources, assignments, all of that, but they can also go into Snaplify and get what would normally be a paid service. They can get access to free textbooks. And if I read correctly, is that all the way through till the end of the year?
That's until the end of the year, yes. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's really, I mean, it's, when I saw that at the first, I was like, what? Imagine if I was in school. It was really, I mean, I was messaging everyone. I was just telling, you can get access to this now. Here's your textbook. Because I've been seeing that so many people are asking for the books on social media also. And then there's a lot of illegal sharing going on and so on. So please don't do that. Rather use Snaplify.
Awesome. That is brilliant. So please check that out. John, we've had a couple of questions come through. One of the questions is, how do you easily access the free resources? Is there a way to search free resources?
Yes. So I think, Ali, will you maybe just post the link there? Then there's a easy link for the free resources that's all on one page. And then we also have a live article that we add new stuff to all the time as it's being updated as free, because people are still letting us know, hey, I uploaded this free thing. Will you please put it on that document? So yeah, there's two links that Ali will share.
Thank you. That's fantastic. Question here. Is there a preview function before you buy? You find something you like, can you see it so you know it's good?
So unfortunately, this is still based on what the vendor uploads as a preview. So you can't have a preview of the entire document. It's only what the vendor has uploaded. But we are trying to get something like that in place so that it's easier for teachers to see what they are buying before they're actually buying it. Okay.
No, that makes sense. And is there a way to vote if you like it, or is there any of that kind of star rating?
Yeah, so there's, after you've purchased or downloaded a resource, you will get an email like a few hours or a day later that says, please review the resources. And then these resources will be reviewed by teachers, and then they will be on the product page. There is a section that says reviews, so that you can read about it first. And also the vendor pages will also have the reviews on them. So you can see this teacher makes amazing stuff, 5-star, 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 and then others will have like a 1-star. So don't buy this. Hopefully not. I don't think there's anything like that, but still.
That is cool. And then Samantha asks, are there any resources available for teaching children at remedial schools?
So I don't think it's specifically aimed at that. So I think there's cool stuff that for speech therapists are online. There's Spraak Bottle is the one vendor, and she makes the most amazing therapy kind of resources where you can teach stuff, phonemic awareness and stuff like that. So there's some resources, but it's not the overwhelming majority of resources. But I mean, the other thing is that it is adaptable. So if you find something and it's in a Word format and so on, you can adapt it.
Awesome. There's a question here. Is it possible to load videos onto Teacha?
So unfortunately, this upload size is quite small. So we don't say there's no thing that's going to stop you from uploading it, but I don't think it will be easy to do because of the limit of the upload.
Okay. We got a comment here from Victoria, which I quite like. Snaplify is awesome. I had a parent asking if they could fetch their child's books from class during the lockdown. Aish. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that doing the rounds.
Definitely. And I think always with Teacha, I think we have a magazine also that was completely focused on remote learning that just went out now. So we have an online magazine. It's all written by teachers for teachers. And we got some parent input also of a parent working from home now that's also a teacher and the daily struggles of that, So then also a lot of resources in there, a lot of links to other places, not necessarily just to Teacha, but to how to do stuff. What can you do? What's out there? What was the experience, like my experience? What was another teacher's experience? So it's really cool. You have to check it out.
Nice. There's a question came through, and I think, John, it's quite a general one. It says 3 questions. Which channel way do you recommend as the best way to communicate with kids? And what do I need to broadcast a live lesson? I know this is not exactly Teacha, but I thought if you have anything you would recommend. Also, just for the viewers out there, Schoolscape Online, we have webinars where we've done on Google Classroom, on Zoom, on Microsoft Teams. All of those are different tools that you can use. So please go check those out as well. But John, I don't know if you would like to take a stab at an answer.
I mean, my experience have been mostly with Google. So we were using Google Meet at school, which was a bit overwhelming. But I know that a lot of things are data intensive. So I think there's a study between Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Zoom and then WhatsApp calls and so on, and what's the cheapest alternative. I'm not sure what the answer is anymore, but there's a lot of things out there to actually use. I think the most popular one at the moment for some reason is Zoom actually, but then of all of the privacy issues that came up, then it quickly wasn't anymore. But I think they must definitely check out the previous webinars that's on here. And I think the cheapest way that they can access my video lessons, wow, that's an interesting one. But I think if you have access to parents and to parent groups and you have recorded videos of yourself, then I think the easiest way really is still old school WhatsApp, because then it also compresses it. It's not the hugest data size. It's like low tech, but it works still. It's not interactive, but definitely to get content out there.
Brilliant. John, we're nearly out of time. Just one question. And this is coming in from Oxford University Press. We are currently offering free resources during lockdown. Can we share the content on Teacha? They were wanting to know.
So unfortunately, it's not open for publishers really, and so on. But I can get in touch and we can work something out definitely, because it's cool. There's definitely we've been sharing a lot of free resources. We've been sending people in directions to actually. To let them know what's out there, so because it's so overwhelming with all of the things that's free at the moment. I mean, now these resources are free. This platform has been open for free. This is for free. So like, what do you choose and what do you use? So we try to narrow it down a bit.
Brilliant. John, I'm going to ask you one last question, and that's going to be any last parting thoughts just on Teacha and how a school could use it. But before I do that, just for everyone that's viewing, thank you. We appreciate you coming on. Please check out our other videos and resources. We have stuff right from Zoom, Microsoft. We've also recently done an interview from the team at use that for home use. So check out those kind of things. We also have a webinar on how you can earn 20 SACE, so CPTD or DT, CPTD points by just viewing this webinar. So go check that out as well. You can be earning SACE points for sitting here, 20 points. So Jean, just for you to close, any last thoughts or points you'd like to share on Teacha?
So I think these questions or in the chat that actually comes up, I think it's very good to remember that Teacha actually has an online, or a Facebook group called Teacha Helpline for South African teachers. So if you search Teacha Helpline, then you can join it, and then you can also ask these questions there, and then you can really get input from a lot of other teachers to see what their experiences are, and not just from people on the outside. I'm not even on the inside anymore, but I was in a school before. But yeah, I think it's best to actually make use of your community and just get online, ask the questions, and we will also help as far as we can, definitely.
Thank you. I think what you are doing, John, is absolutely phenomenal. I have just shared some of the people asking about the CPD points. I've just shared a link where you can see all of our webinars, and you can check out the one on that. You'll see it on that page. But John, thank you. Thank you for making Teacha happen. Thank you for making teachers 5,000 Rand extra per month, or even some of them just $350 a month. That's incredible. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the live viewers today, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cheers, everybody.